It's your boy Vic XL, and this is the Ridin Durty Show. And today is Friday, April the 6th. And I'm a little slow on the trigger today. Overslept a little bit, That's what that third shift nightlife be like. But hey, we up in this thing and we about to do it only the way the Ridin Durty Show can do it. Man, one time for all my Facebook Live people, man, I definitely love it when you guys are on the check-in. Appreciate y'all, love y'all. Y'all could be doing anything else, especially one time for all my Facebook Live people who are checking out the show, who are hiding in a bathroom stall. Man, love you guys for just being supportive. Love you guys for being sneaky, checking us out, and it is what it is, man. Just love you guys. Thank you for the support. All right, you know how we always like to start this show off by letting you know the Ridin Durty Show is brought to you by the good people. That's right, the good people over at Dr. Juice Cleanse. Now, if you're wondering what is Dr. Juice Cleanse, Dr. Juice Cleanse is an all-natural cleanser. The all-natural cleanser that promises to do amazing things for your body, like help you lose up to 25 pounds in 10 days. Now, tell me, how would you feel losing 25 pounds in 10 days? Because I would feel great. Also, it can help provide pH balance to your body. It can help relieve stress. It can slow down the aging process. It can eliminate mucus from your body. The bad things in your body that don't need to be there, it can help get that out of there. And you know what? This product does so much, and I talk every day about the good product over at Dr. Juice Cleanse. But my main thing is I always want you guys to check out the product. Don't just listen to what I say. Check out the product yourself. Find out what it can do for you. And hopefully you'll become a member and a drink of Dr. Juice Cleanse, like myself. So, to check it out, just visit drjuicecleanse.com. It's just that simple. And when you visit drjuicecleanse.com, tell them Vic XL and the Ridin Durty Show sent you. And I'm sure that they will have something nice, like a nice little patron discount for you guys. I'm sure they will show you some love if you show them some love. So visit drjuicecleanse.com. Now, also, brand new sponsor, Overflow Cafe. Now, when you hear me say the name Overflow Cafe, you probably think maybe I'm talking about cups of coffee. Maybe you think I'm talking about tea. No, I'm talking about overflow as in your company will be overflowing in traffic and customers. Overflowcafe.com is a traffic generating company that can generate traffic to your website. Now, if you are an author, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an artist, and you just need more people to listen to your music, if you're an entrepreneur and you need more people to be exposed to your product or buy your product, if you have a movie and you need more views, if you're doing anything and you just want more traffic coming to you and you want more traffic generated to you, well, overflowcafe.com is the company that can do just that for you. They can help get more people to your site, to your Facebook page, to your YouTube channel, and get you the results you want. And not only can they do it, they can break it down by your area, they can break it down by your region, by your city. However you want the traffic to be generated, overflowcafe.com can do that for you. But if you don't believe me, go see for yourself. Just go visit overflowcafe.com, tell them Vic XL and the Ridin Durty Show sent you, and start generating traffic to your website today. Cut off 2 to 3 years of your entrepreneurship. Cut off 2 to 3 years of your musical journey by working with overflowcafe.com to get you the customer and listener and viewer base that you need. All right? Remember, again, visit overflowcafe.com and drjuicecleanse.com because these are proud sponsors of the Ridin Durty Show. All right, now, I always like to give y'all the good news. I like to empower you guys, educate you guys, help you just know new things. So I like to tell y'all about an event that's going on, and this event is going on April 14th, Saturday, April 14th, at the Griffin UGA campus. And this event is brought to you by Purpose by Design Counseling. The event is called Now Let's Spill the Tea on Mental Illness in the African American Community. That's right. Mental illness is something in the African American community that a lot of times we tend to sweep it under the rug like it doesn't exist. A lot of people might be contemplating suicide. A lot of people might have issues that they just are afraid to discuss Well, you know what? Mental illness is not just a Caucasian issue. It's also amongst the African American community. And we need to learn more about it. We need to learn how to recognize it. And we need to learn what to do when recognized. So, if you want some help in doing this and you want to be part of a situation to discuss it, what you need to do, again, is make your way over to the UGA Griffin campus on Saturday, April 14th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And let's discuss the T on mental illness in African American community. And it's brought to you by the good people over at Purpose by Design Counseling. If you want to know more about the event, you can call 470-771-4987. You can visit www.griffin.edu. I'm sorry, www.griffin.uga.edu, or you can RSVP at purposebydesigncounseling@gmail.com. Hey man, it's good cause. It's going on in our community. We definitely got support, and we definitely got to be there, and we definitely need to show some love. All right, now, celebrity birthdays. Birthdays by people who have just moved and shaped our culture. Let's start off by saying, again, today is Friday, April the 6th. I want to say happy birthday to producer, DJ Fax One. I also want to say happy birthday to actor, legend, Billy D. Williams Jr. turns 81 years old today. Definitely got to say happy birthday to him. Got to say happy birthday to LA rapper Young Pinch. My man's definitely got a nice little movement going on. He turns 21 years old today. Happy birthday to him. And last but not least, happy birthday to one of my favorite shows, and hopefully they'll be bringing it back soon, La Banda contestant Aaron Bowden. He turns 24 years old today. He's a dope reggaeton hip-hop artist, definitely doing his thing. Happy birthday to him. Now, real quick, gotta say happy birthday to my Facebook family and friends. First, I want to say happy birthday to my man Jarvis Lucier. My man Jarvis Lucier is a rapper representing my hometown, Griffin, Georgia. Definitely got a strong movement behind him. Got a couple projects out in the marketplace, and he's definitely doing his thing. So happy birthday. He turns 20 years old, Mr. Jarvis Lucier. Happy birthday to you. I also want to say happy birthday to my man, Mr. C. Hustle. He's actually been a visitor of the Ridin Durty show. Had a chance to interview him some years back, but definitely want to say happy birthday to him. He got some hot records out there. Got to say happy birthday to artist Vale P, also one-time guest on the Ridin Durty show. Got to say happy birthday to him. And last but not least, got to say happy birthday to my man, one of my favorite guests of all times, entrepreneur, director, artist, producer. My man is a Renaissance man. I gotta say happy birthday to my brother. Hadn't spoke to him in a while, but happy birthday to my brother, Brandon Moore, aka Mr. BMO Slim. Fellas, ladies, hopefully you are having a great day, enjoying your birthday, and I definitely appreciate your contributions to the culture. And it's Friday, having some fun on your birthday. All right, we've talked a little bit about stuff going on in the community. We've told you who sponsored the show. I said my happy birthdays, and real quick, let me give you a little news. One time for my man Jules Santana. He is home after his little short jail stint over the gun charge where he caught in the airport in New York. Not sure when he'll be going to trial, but one time Jules Santana is at home, so hopefully he's staying his ass out of trouble. I gotta say congratulations to Cardi B. Her album was released yesterday, and that thing went gold in a matter of minutes. So, one time for Cardi B, her album Invasion of Privacy went gold in a matter of minutes. I've had a chance to check out some of the songs. It's actually a really, really good product. So, one time for Cardi B. It seems like my man Jay-Z, and I tend to feel this way sometimes too, so y'all don't get mad at me, but Jay-Z has came out and said that he believes the Trump presidency will actually be a great thing. And I kind of believe that too, and the reason I'm saying that, because I think Donald Trump is such a horrible president that it will help unite people. I think it will help unite people. So, one time for Jay-Z for feeling the way I feel. I don't like Donald Trump, but I think that his presidency definitely can bring some positive things if we work together. Gotta say rest in peace to historical legendary rapper Chuck Freeze of the legendary Jazzy 5 crew. Rest in peace to him. And let's see what else we got going on in hip-hop news. I mentioned to you guys that Kris Jenner was going to be managing Kanye West. Well, not only will she be managing Kanye West, but she will also be managing Travis Scott. Man, what are you guys doing, man? What are y'all doing? Y'all letting y'all baby mama manage y'all? Really? I don't know, man. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully it works out for the best. And last but not least, I got to say one time for my man Ice Cube and the Big Three Basketball League. They are gearing up for season number 2. I'm very, very impressed with the Big Three Basketball League. It airs on Fox Sports South 1 if you ever want to check it out. They're gearing up for season 2, and I'm excited because they're coming to the ATL the weekend of my birthday. So hopefully I'll be checking out the Big Three. All right, that's enough for hip-hop news. I've talked to y'all about the news, gave y'all the birthdays, gave y'all our sponsors, and now it's time for us to do what we do best, and that's talk to people who are moving and shaking the culture. And today we have an author who we spoke before, but he has a brand new book. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Ridin Durty Show, Mr. Avraham Azrieli. How you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Again.
Avraham, I know the last time I tore up your name. Did I mess it up this time?
No, you did great.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Avraham, I'm glad to have you back on the show. Let's bring people up to speed real quick who might have missed the interview the first time. Avraham is from where, and what made you decide to be an author?
Well, I actually grew up in Israel, and currently I live in Maryland, near D.C. And I've been writing novels for about 20, 25 years. It's a very irrational endeavor, so I can't give you a reason for what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.
All right, I got to ask, why would you call it an irrational endeavor? I know writing novels can't be the easiest thing in the world, but why would you consider it irrational?
Well, for one thing, it's fiction. So what you need to do when you write a novel is take yourself out of reality and imagine an alternative world, and then describe it in a convincing way so your readers actually believe that what they're reading is true. Of course, they know it's a novel, but when they're reading, the goal is to have your readers believe while they're reading. We call it suspense disbelief. And a good novel takes you to an alternative world that the writer imagined and make you feel like you're really there and the people are real. That is a challenge, a big challenge. And it requires kind of living half in reality and half in an imaginative world. So in that respect, it's a little irrational.
All right, I got to ask, as a child growing up in Israel, what was your imagination like?
Israel is a tough place. It's a wonderful place on the one hand, tremendous history and great spirit, and tough place at the same time. During my childhood, we had several large wars. Israel is consistently, even now, Israel is experiencing existential risk every day. There are countries that try to destroy Israel. So it's not a childhood like childhood in the United States, though I got to say a lot of our friends here in the United States grow up in neighborhoods that are dangerous, so they know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you go down the street, there's shooting, there's violence, and in that respect, unfortunately, the world hasn't changed much. It just depends where you are.
All right, at what age did you come to the States, and what actually brought you to the States? Well,
I went to law school in Israel and clerked for the Israeli Supreme Court, and then I was very fortunate to get an offer to come and study for a master's degree in New York at Columbia University. So I packed up a suitcase and came and ended up getting a job, meeting a wonderful woman who became my wife, and life began here again.
All right, so are you actually a practicing lawyer as well as an author?
No, right now I'm writing full-time. I was a lawyer for about 20 years. I practiced law, primarily litigation, business litigation before the courts. And about 10 years ago I switched to full-time writing. But I was writing also while practicing law, so there was a long period of parallel occupation, so to speak.
All right. So at what point did you say, you know what, I think this writing thing could definitely take me to where I want to be, or the next plateau, and I need to go full time with the writing as opposed to, being a lawyer sitting in the courtroom?
A lot of it has to do with the response from readers. By that time, I published a few books, had wonderful response from readers, and it seems the natural progression to move to full-time writing so that I can produce more books and better books. I also started doing more historical fiction, which requires a lot more research, a lot more legwork, and making sure that I'm getting the facts right and sharing with my readers the true way people used to live back in history. So it seems like the right time to do it, and it's been wonderful.
All right. Now, how much, because I know being a lawyer, you see a lot of different things, no matter what type of law you're practicing. How much of the energy from being a lawyer went into your imagination when it comes to creating these novels?
Well, a lot of lawyers write imaginary things in the briefs they file with courts, but, beyond that, observation, I think practicing law teaches you discipline. It teaches you to be productive. It teaches you that things need to be done well. There's an element of perfectionism and checking all your facts. So a lot of the elements that make for a good lawyer, especially a lawyer who practices before the federal courts the way I was practicing, there's a lot of elements to that kind of work that served me very well as a novelist.
Okay. So you currently have 12 novels. Tell me a little bit about those.
Well, actually, I started with a couple of nonfiction books. I wrote a book, while practicing law, I wrote a book titled Your Lawyer on a Short Leash, which is actually a guide to working with lawyers and dealing with lawyers. And then I wrote another nonfiction book, which is titled One Step Ahead, which was later actually made into a musical. And that book described the true story of a mother of 7 kids saving her family during World War II. After that, I wrote novels, and so far 10 of them. The early ones were set in Israel, were spy novels, The Jerusalem Inception, The Jerusalem Assassin, a couple of novels featuring the Israeli Secret Service. Later on, I wrote a political thriller set in the United States called the Masada Complex, which deals with the relationship between Israel and the United States, imagining a crisis in that relationship. And what would happen if the United States stopped supporting Israel. And that was a wonderful, thriller to write, and has been, very provocative at the time and even now. After that, I wrote several other novels, a political thriller, a legal thriller, a novel about the presidential elections in the United States of a Mormon candidate. It's called The Mormon Candidate. And recently, the novels are set in ancient Israel, which is really the recent novel, the most recent novel for which we scheduled the interview, called Deborah Calling. And that really features the woman who was the first leader of a nation in human history, as far as I can tell, Deborah, who appears in the Book of Judges.
All right, and I actually remember when we spoke about Deborah Calling, it was actually during the time that Hillary Clinton was actually making her push for the presidency. How ironic of the timing. How much parallel do you feel like that book was, and what was the timing like, because Hillary was actually running for president at the time?
Yes, we had a wonderful discussion, and that was when the first novel in the series came out. That novel is called Deborah Rising. That started the series. At the time it was very timely in a way, and many readers pointed that out and wrote me very nice notes through my website, and posted good reviews on Amazon. And that novel really launched the story of Deborah as a very young woman, so much earlier, before the time she became a leader. And the current novel, Deborah Calling, takes the second chapter in her journey to becoming a more mature woman. How relevant it is to today? I think it's very relevant because women in general have a very difficult time attaining a senior position as leaders, not just in politics, but also in business. And that, I think, is still a remnant of the paternalistic world that has existed for centuries or even millennia.
All right, now Deborah basically is the first woman to basically lead a nation in history. How are you able to capitalize her strength in this novel, and how did you basically, because a lot of times with women, they get distracted by their love lives. How are you able to make her so powerful, such a great leader, but not intertwine the love life that might potentially hold her back or set her back?
That's an interesting question, and I don't know how much that is actually factually true, but that definitely is a perception that existed for as long as time exists, that women were more of emotional creatures that belong in the home and taking care of the kids and their husbands. And if you look at history, and the Bible is also a book of history, what's interesting about Deborah is that she is the first female that we can see in the Bible and really in any ancient writing who rises to lead a nation. But interestingly enough, the book of Judges, which describes Deborah, does it in a very short part of the story. As the different judges are described in the book of Judges, Deborah appears out of nowhere. She's already an adult, and all the Bible tells us is, well, at that time, Deborah was the judge, the prophet, and then she goes on to lead the Israelites in a war of liberation against the Canaanites, which at the time controlled the Israelites. And she liberates the nation. She achieves a complete defeat of the Canaanites, and then the people of Israel live in peace and quietness for 40 years, according to the Bible. Now, there's nothing there about where she came from. There's no explanation how a woman could become such a powerful figure at a time where women were nothing more than livestock. They had no rights, no privileges. They could not own any property or make testimony against somebody else. They really did not have any validity as independent human beings other than being controlled by their fathers. So what I'm trying to do in this series of novels, which is published by HarperCollins, is really to create a past for Deborah and to explain, to solve this riddle, and to show how a girl could actually attain the skills and the resilience and all the elements that it takes to make a powerful leader who actually rises to the top.
Now, I have to ask, because Deborah has been through a lot of trials and tribulations. How was she able to keep her faith?
Faith is a very interesting thing, and you're hitting on the very crucial points in this whole story. And faith is a very interesting element of human life. And faith is something that is shared by almost every person, whether they're a member of a religion, whether they actually practice an established religion. Faith comes down to the existential questions that we all ask. Why do we live? Why do we have a life? What does it mean to have a good life? How can we complete our life and feel, looking back, that we have lived a good life? And also, the most crucial question, what happens next? What happens after we die? It's very hard for us to accept that we're, nothing, that it just goes to nothing. So this is what faith is about. Faith is not necessarily a religion. It could be Christianity, Judaism, Islam. There's literally hundreds of different religious, variations. So when it comes to Deborah, she obviously believes in the God of Israel, which, is called variably as, Adonai or Elohim or Yahweh. And she believes in that single God who is all-powerful, who is not heard or seen, but belongs only in her faith. But she struggles with it, and I think that's part of a natural existence of every thinking woman and man. The struggle of trying to see why bad things happen. And this is one of the elements of the novels, because she faces tremendous adversity and difficulties and disasters and setbacks on her path. And yes, she does struggle with it. Why bad things happen to good people? And isn't that a question we all trouble ourselves with?
Yes, that's definitely true. Definitely true. So, Mr. Avraham, we got about 4 minutes left in this interview. And I like to put my authors on the spot. And I hope you have a book handy. And I think I done this to you last time. But is there any way possible you can read us a small insert from the new book, Deborah Calling?
It is possible. I wasn't ready for it. But as you say, you put us on the spot. And, I'm just going to, open just a spot. But I think, it's a little hard for me to choose a paragraph off the bat. So I'm going to have to pass on this question because it's very hard for me to choose a paragraph in a second.
Okay. I apologize. I want to ask this too. How important is the cover of a book? Like I noticed that you have an attractive female on Deborah Calling. How important is picking the right cover for your book?
I think it's very important for books that are bought in bookstores. It's very important for books that are chosen online. It's the first thing that a reader sees. And first impression, as we know, is the most important impression. That said, I think there is much more today for readers to look at, and that is the reviews. That's very important when people go to buy a book online. Probably the second thing they look at are the reviews, what kind of ratings and what people actually write after they have read the book. So I think the value of the cover has gone down a little bit with the advent of online purchasing, but it's still very important. And I'm grateful to my publisher, HarperCollins, for creating beautiful covers for Deborah Calling and before that for Deborah Rising.
90 seconds.
How important is hardbacks nowadays? I don't see as many hardbacks as I used to. How important is hardbacks as far as people still doing them?
I think they're more important for the publishers because it generates a lot more income. But I think for readers, what I find is that most of my readers buy paperback or they buy ebooks. They download the ebooks and read them
60
on,
seconds.
Some people read them on phones or on iPads or Kindle. A lot of people read it on Kindle, and a lot of people actually listen to books. Most of my novels are available in audio through Audible or iTunes. And a lot of people listen to novels on Audible, on audiobooks, and I get wonderful responses from readers who have read my books by listening in their cars, for example.
Okay, yeah, I definitely love listening in my car. So it's time for us to get out of here, Mr. Avraham. What I need you to do before we do leave is, number one, let the people know how to find Deborah Calling and the rest of your novels.
Of course. First of all, I have a wonderful website that is very inviting for readers. It's basically my last name.
10 seconds.
So it's www.azrielibooks.com. And Azrieli is spelled A-Z-R-I-E-L-I. That's a wonderful way to find out about my books and about me, and also to contact me. There is a contact form, and I love to hear from readers. Also, the books are available everywhere books are sold. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, independent bookstores. And if you have an independent bookstore in your area, please support it. It's a very important part of the community. And if you want to reach me, again, through my website, I'd love to hear from you.
All right, and last but not least, any social media you want the people to know about?
Well, absolutely. I obviously have, Facebook and Twitter. I have presence on those, and they connect to my website. So absolutely, you can reach me that way as well. And hopefully you read my books and let me know what you think.
All right. Now, Mr. Avraham, I definitely appreciate you. Good luck on another successful novel, and I look forward to talking to you again because you keep them coming.
Thank you so much for having me, and I do look forward to coming back.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's my guy, Mr. Avraham Azrieli. Y'all definitely pick up a copy of that Deborah Calling. And when you get a chance, man, check out his other novels. My man has over 12 novels in the marketplace. It's your boy, Vic Excel. This is the Ridin Durty Show, and we up out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. And again, wish all my birthday people happy birthday. Make sure you visit overflowcafe.com and drjuicecleanse.com. See y'all Sunday night, 11 p.m. 1.